Hello everyone. Today we're going to put some rust remover, it's called Evapo-rust, in this tank for the Kawasaki Vulcan 900. It says to let it soak with stubborn rust 12 to 24 hours. So I'm going to put it in here, I'm going to let it sit overnight. I'm going to keep rotating it, sloshing it around there. I've got a gallon to put in there. They said that's enough for a tank this size. You just have to keep moving it in different positions till it gets everything coated good, and it should seal up, or I'm sorry, it should take the rust off, and then you have to put some type of sealer on the inside of the tank, keep it from flash rushing in again if it's going to sit for a little bit. So I'm kind of hoping to, once I get this done, the only holdup's going to will be the electric fuel pump and the sending unit. I got both them bolted into the tank, so I'm hoping that'll clean the rust off of those too while I got it in there. We shall see. So anyway, I'll go ahead and dump the Evapo-rust in there, and we'll get it unrusting. Be careful not to spill this on the paint. It's not supposed to hurt the paint, but I'm not going to take any chances. It's pretty runny. I thought it would be kind of like honey, you know, kind of a thick, like paint stripper is a lot of times. It doesn't have a whole lot of odor to it. Okay, next I'm going to put the cap back on there so I don't, I'll go moving around, I don't slosh any of that out. Get that out of there without dripping. If you can see down there, it looks kind of foamy. It kind of started turning this neck black where it was rusty before, so as soon as it hits it looks like it's starting to react to the rust. Hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully it'll clean it out like we need it cleaned out. Put your cap back on here. There. And we shall let it sit overnight and see what happens. Today is January the 4th, 2024. Happy New Year. It's about 2:22 in the afternoon, Thursday, so I'll come back out here tomorrow morning and I'll start flipping it around different directions. I might even come back here a little later tonight and just kind of slosh it around really good one time. Or maybe I should do that right now just to help it start eating everything away maybe. There. We'll see what happens. First time I ever use this stuff, so I'm kind of anxious to see how good it works. Anyway, I'll come back in the morning and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I tried using this stuff and I only put a gallon in. This stuff's like $29 a gallon. This is a 5-gallon tank. I don't want to put 5 gallons of this stuff in here. I don't want to spend the money on it that much. So it cleaned it up where it was touching in there, where it sat, but only a gallon in there. It just didn't coat it as good as I was hoping to clean all of it out. So I'm going to try the poor man's way here. I went to the store and got white vinegar. It's 5% acidity. I wish it would be more than that. I can get industrial cleaning vinegar and it's like 6%, but again it's twice as expensive as this stuff. This stuff was I believe it was $2.48 a gallon, and it was going to cost me like $2.88 for half a gallon of the cleaning vinegar, and I thought for 1% acidity increase I just couldn't justify it. So I bought 5 gallons of this stuff. So I'm gonna fill the tank completely up and I'm gonna let it sit for a few days and see and drain it out and see how it cleans it. I'm trying to use something that's not gonna damage the paint on this tank. There's a lot of other chemicals you can use that'll take it out, and I just don't want to take a chance of damaging this paint. see how full it is down in there. It's kind of bubbling a little bit, so hopefully that means it's doing something. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna let that soak for a few days, and then we will get back to it and see what it looks like. Hello everyone, it is Thursday, February the 8th, and today we're going to flush out the fuel tank on this Kawasaki Vulcan 900. I've been letting it soak for several days I filled it full of vinegar. It's a 5-gallon tank, so I filled it with 5 gallons of vinegar, and every few days I would come out and shake it. And so today I'm going to drain it, flush it out, try to get in there with my pressure washer and pressure wash it out as much as I can. I bought a can of this. It is the POR 15 fuel tank sealer. This is 8 fluid ounces, and according to the information, this will do a 7.5 gallon tank. It doesn't look like very much to me. I'm hoping it'll do it. This is only a 5 gallon tank, so I should have plenty. But we'll see. I've never used gas tank sealer before. I've never had an issue where I needed to use gas tank sealer before, so we'll see how this stuff works. But first off, I want to drain the vinegar out into a 5 gallon bucket so I can save it. And then what I want to do is take the fuel pump and the sending unit out so I can get in there with a pressure washer and get the nozzle in there as much as I can and spray around inside the tank and try to get it cleaned out. I think that'll work pretty good. And then I'll try draining the tank out as much as I can. It seems like even when you dump this tank out, when I was using other rust removers to try to get it cleaned out, it still holds probably, you know, half a pint of fluid in there. You know, you can't get it, no matter how you tip it, you can't get it out. So I'm gonna take, I've got some turkey basters I bought at the dollar store. I'm gonna see if I can get there and suck it out with that. I've also got a little hand pump. What I did last time with the rust remover, I used that and it worked pretty good. So I want to get everything cleaned out as much as I can. And then what I've done in the past, for my fuel tank on my Vet, when I took it out to put in the fittings and stuff for the electric fuel pump, I took, and I've also done it with tail lights and headlight assemblies. It works really good. Anytime you got moisture in them, you try to blow them out with an air hose, you can't really get the moisture out. It just blows it around in there. Plus, if you got air in your line, you're actually adding moisture to it. So I found one time, I got thinking one day, I thought, well, geez, I'll hook it to my shop vac, to the exhaust side of the shop vac. And as the shop vac runs, I know you've noticed if you got a shop vac, it gets warm. So you have warm air coming out the exhaust, warm, dry air. And so I hooked that to my headlight or tail light assembly, or like I did with my fuel tank, and let it run for however long it takes, and it'll dry it out completely. It works really good. So that's what I'm going to probably do with this tank too, do that, and then go in and put this sealer in it. So let's get set up, and we will try to get this vinegar out first. And you can smell the vinegar. You can kind of see it discolored. The vinegar was clear. Now it's kind of milky looking, and it's got rust particles or something floating in the surface of it there. So I think it did clean some out, I hope. Okay, so I'm going to take the bolts out of the fuel pump here. I'm hoping, since I left the fuel pump in there, that the vinegar got in there and cleaned out any rust or anything, or loosened any rust that was in it. I'm going to take it apart. We'll see what it looks like inside. Yeah, it looks like it, yeah, all that rust just kind of scrapes off with my fingers, so I think I can clean this up really good. Okay, we'll take the sending unit out now. It was pretty rusty put that sealer in it, and it'll be good as new. Oh wow, that looks way different. Look at how that just comes off. Just wipes right off. I think, look at that. That looks beautiful. The stuff just comes right off like nothing. Yeah, I think that's going to clean up really nice. Now, on this, I'm going to take this apart and clean that surface area in there where this moves back and forth and actually makes it read the fuel level. So I'm hoping that that's not all corroded away, but we'll see. But that, I'm really happy with how easy this stuff just wipes off now. Soaking in that vinegar. I don't remember when I put that in, but I know it's been in there probably almost 2 weeks, I think. Okay, I don't know how well we're going to be able to see down into this tank. You can still see rust down in there, but I'm hoping it'll do like it did on the fuel sending unit and everything, that will just wipe right off. Yeah, you can see right there that just wipes right off. So yeah, I wish I could get down in there with something. Got some of these giant Q-tips. See if I can get down there. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see it in there, but that's just rubbing right off. See that? See the before and the after. I think that's going to clean up really nice. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see where the rust ends, and you can see where I wiped it off to the right there. That looks awesome. Looks like a brand new tank. I think that was a little too close. Let's try this, see how this works. Okay, so I don't know if you can see down in there, but that looks beautiful. You see way down in the tank how clean it is. There's a few little pieces of dirt and stuff in there, yeah, but I'm going to take care of that. Let me flip it over, look at the back side. Okay, you can see down in there. Looks like a brand new tank, doesn't it? It's got some dark places in there, but that's where the rust has been neutralized and rinsed off. It's just discoloration there. The gas tank sealer should cover that. You can see down over on this side. Look at that. We got us a brand new gas tank. Look at that. Oh my God, I'm so pleased with this. You know, I was really struggling on what to do with this thing because I didn't want to use anything real toxic or anything or caustic, because this paint job on this gas tank is awesome, and I knew if I got anything on that damaged it, I would be in trouble, because there's no way I'd match that back up again. And I checked online. You can get a new gas tank painted already finished the way you want it, but it was like $1,300 or $1,400, and that would pretty much eat up all the profit in trying to sell this bike and make a couple bucks on it. So I tried the Evapo-rust first because it said it wouldn't damage the paint, but I only bought a gallon of it because it's like 30 bucks a gallon. And I didn't want to buy 5 gallons of it and then not be happy with the results. And I'm glad I didn't, because I wasn't happy with the results. Well, let me rephrase that. I was happy with the results I got from only having a gallon of the stuff, but it just wasn't enough to fill the tank. So wherever it sat, it cleaned it really good. And in a day or two, it was like brand new again. But I didn't have enough to clean the whole tank efficiently, and I wasn't going to buy another 4 gallons of that stuff because, like I say, at 30 bucks a gallon, that's just ridiculous. So I kept looking online, trying to think of different things to use, and I thought, heck, vinegar works for cleaning stuff like this. So I went to Walmart and I bought 5 gallons of just regular white vinegar, and it was like $2.88 a gallon, I think it was. So, I mean, basically I got 5 gallons for less than what I paid for the 1 gallon of Evapo-rust. Filled it up, and I don't know if I needed to let it sit as long as I did, but I think I let it sit for about 2 weeks, and I'd come out and I'd slosh it around every once in a while. Even though it was completely full, there was a little air gap at the top, so I want to make sure I got it all. And so I'd come out and slosh it around, and I thought, well, it was kind of cold out the last week or so. It was only getting a high in the low 60s, and I really didn't feel like going outside and getting sprayed with a pressure washer when it's 60 degrees out. So I thought, well, I'll just keep waiting for a nice warm day. Well, today it's about 65 right now, but the sun's shining. It's very warm out there. So it was a perfect day to do it. And like I said, I'm very happy with the results. And I like using the vinegar for a couple reasons. First off, it's not corrosive, so it's not going to damage the paint. Second off, it's non-toxic. You can dump it on the ground. You can drink it. You know, I mean, it's very safe for the environment. So I was afraid with 5 gallons, if I spilled it out on the ground or something, I didn't want to be polluting the ground or killing my grass. And so I figured, what the heck, I'll try it. I'll only be out, 15 bucks or whatever it was. But it worked great. I would highly recommend it. It's not something you probably want to use if you're in a hurry to get something cleaned out. But if you got time to let it sit for a week or so, or like I said, I don't know, maybe 2 days would have been enough. I don't know. And I do know you could do electrolysis with vinegar. You make an anode and put it in the tank and put a ground to it and a positive to it and all that stuff, and it'll draw the rust out too. And the acid in the vinegar helps act as a conductor to pull that rust to the anode. And that was going to be my next step. If this didn't work, I was going to do an anode with the vinegar, and I think that would have definitely done it. But this did it on its own. I just can't believe it. I'm very happy with it. So my next step is I got to get a pump in here, because let me show you. Let me get the light in here. There's my light. I've still got quite a bit of water splashing around in there. You can see it. And no matter what I do, I can't get it all out. So what I did last time, and you can see there was chunks of rust floating around in there, so I got to get all that stuff out too. So what I'm going to do is I got a pump set up. I'll pump the rest of this out, and then I'm going to hook my vacuum to it to dry it out the rest of the way. So let me get that set up. Okay. I got most of it out. You can see all the rust and stuff that's still down in there, that's just loose in there. I got to get all that out. Once I get it dried out, I can hook a vacuum to it and suck all the rest of that out. But I want to try to get down in there with the towel and soak up as much of that water as I can. The drier I can get it, the faster it'll dry with the vacuum cleaner. Okay, I think that did pretty good. Okay, so let me get the vacuum cleaner set up and we'll get the sucking the moisture out of there. Okay, I got my vacuum hooked up to the tank, and very fortunately, this hose fit really tight in this hole. I had to kind of force it down in there. So I didn't have to make an adapter or anything to hold it in there or duct tape it on there or anything. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna turn on and let it run until I'm sure the tank is dry. It'll probably take at least a day because there's so many nooks and crannies in this thing. But I think it's gonna work great. I'll show you, I'll go ahead and turn it on. It's gonna be loud, you won't be able to hear me, but I'm gonna show you with this rag here how much, you know, volume of air I'm getting out. Plus I have the cap off underneath here, so I'm getting air out here too. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on and I'll show you. And the nice thing about this deal, you hook it to the exhaust, so and I don't know about most vacuums, but this vacuum runs kind of warm, so it puts out a lot of hot air. So it's gonna be hot, dry air, hopefully. I mean, it's gonna be atmospheric air. It's got some moisture in it, but I think it'll dry it out. It's always worked for me in the past. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing run. It'll warm up. Right now, when you turn on, the air is kind of cool coming out of it, but it'll warm up in no time and blow air through the tank and dry it out. So here we go. Okay, so I've got that vacuum running in the tank to dry it out. I decided I'm going to leave the fuel pump and the sending unit in this bucket of white vinegar for a couple more days, let it soak until I'm ready to start working on them so they don't dry out and everything kind of stick back to the metal. So that's my plan right now, but that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. And on the next video, it'll probably be taking these apart, or if the tank's dry, I'll be putting that sealer in it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.